Good day, everyone. You are welcome to another segment of Online iCode Tutor. From our last class, we discussed about motion. Now, today we are going to be looking at some questions under that particular topic. Now, from the question we have, a stone is thrown upward with an initial velocity. Now, that means that we need to pull down the parameters given to us from the question. Initial velocity, u equals 20 meter per second. Now, g equals 10 meter per second square. That means that a equals g equals 10 meter per second square. And don't forget, we are talking about acceleration due to gravity. That means that the stone is being thrown upward. And there is difference between normal acceleration and acceleration due to gravity. Normal acceleration, which is A, is linear acceleration. That means that when you have any object moving on a linear ground, but once it's above the ground, it's being referred to as acceleration due to gravity. That means that it will be negative 10. That means that the value of our acceleration there is negative 10 meter per second square. Now, the question now goes on that how far does it reach on the top? How far does it reach on the top? And when they are talking about how far means distance. That means that we are calculating for distance, which is unknown. And the second one, how long does it take to reach the top? How long also is time? Let's say our time equals unknown too. Now, from the beginning, from the first part, they said how far does it take to reach the top? Now, what formula do we think is suitable for this? That means that we can use v square equals u square plus 2as, since we are calculating for the distance. Since we are calculating the distance here. Now, since the final velocity the final velocity here now will not be 0. V equals 0. Because the initial velocity at the top is 20 meters per second. That means our final velocity will be 0. This will be 0 square equals 20 square plus 2 times minus 10 times our distance. That's 0 equals 400 plus 2 times minus 10, that's minus 20. That's minus 20x. Now, the next thing to do, let's transfer this negative 20 outside. That's 20s equals 400. Since we want to know the value of distance, that's divide both sides by 20. Therefore, our x equals, that's 20. Our x now equals to 20 meters. That is the distance. Now, the next question is, how long does it take to reach the top? How long? Since we are talking about how long is time? Let's use the v equals u plus at. Now, normally our v is 0 equals initial velocity also is 20 plus our acceleration, that's minus 10 minus 10t. Bring minus 10t to the other side, become 10t equals 20. Divide both sides by 10 to get the time. Yeah, that's 2. Therefore, our time equals 2 seconds, since we are calculating for the time taken. C. Now, the C part is, what is the velocity just before reaching the ground? And don't forget, this one is just like a practical aspect. Now, a stone is thrown upward with initial velocity. It's thrown upward. This is the stone. It's thrown upward with initial velocity as 20 meters per second. Now, let's say that what is its velocity before it's reaching the ground? That means that once it's moved back to the ground, which is the final velocity, it will be the same magnitude as the initial velocity. Do you understand me now? It will be the same, since it is of the same magnitude with the same initial velocity. But in the opposite, it will not be in the opposite direction, assuming no air resistance. That means that since it's moving upward, the initial velocity is 20 and the final velocity is 0. When it's moving downward, the final velocity also will be what? 20 meters per second, and the initial velocity will be what? Is 0. The final velocity now will not be what? 20. Therefore, our v equals 20 meters per second. Now, for the final part, how long does it take to the ground? As you all know that how long is time? That means that time equals time up plus time down. Now, the time given, the time from the question, from what we calculated here, is 2 seconds. That means that that's the time up. That means that the same time up is the same what? Time down. Therefore, our time will now be 2 plus 2, which is equals to 4 seconds. Now, that's the end of the question.